Hi folks, this is Dave with the Bit Journal broadcast, and today I want to review Tales of Vesperia for the Nintendo Switch. Recently, I did a long play of Tales of Vesperia, going back a couple of videos ago, and as I was playing, I found some pluses and minuses with this game, but overall, I really like the detail in the game. The characters are very, very memorable. They have a lot of personality to them. Has a great soundtrack. The fighting is fun, but it does have its flaws, and I will explain that in a little bit. And another thing I've noticed is just how well and how smooth this port was from the Xbox 360 over to the Nintendo Switch. You know, it's a really, really great game. It's amazing to see that I'm able to play this on a portable system. I really enjoy having fun with this, and now that I'm more levels in, I've really been having a blast with the different weapons, different characters, different special moves that are available. Yeah, this game is a lot of fun. So, basically, you play as Yuri, and Yuri is an ex-knight who once fought for the Empire, basically. And he has a friend who is like the complete opposite of him. So Yuri is like, oh, I'm getting tired of this, screw the Empire, whatever. They're not helping out the poor people in the village, so I'm gonna live for them rather than living for the Empire. Whereas one of his best friends happens to be the complete opposite of that. He's more for the law, and sometimes he could come across as a bit pretentious, but other than that, though, it sets up for real interesting story arc, especially with the different characters that you meet up with within the game. Some characters appear to be cutesy, but can have a deeper backstory hidden behind them. One thing I always loved about these Tales games is the fact that as you're walking along through the field, you're not just walking and fighting monsters. There are also conversations to be had in the middle of the game. You end up hitting the minus button, and then the characters will all talk amongst themselves and reveal parts of the story that you would have never revealed otherwise if you did not initiate the conversation within the game. As you can see, also the map is very traditional, just like any other Tales game, pretty much. I'm gonna just attack these monsters for a second while I'm playing. Now, there's one problem that I've noticed with this game, and that problem has to do with the controls themselves. Let me get into another fight after this one, and once I get into that other fight, I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So let's see, here's a monster just generated. Now, I'm using my left Joy-Con right over here. Now, if I sit here and I use my thumb and I hold down on the D-pad, he walks. But if I hold to the right, notice he is not speeding up, even though I'm holding the Joy-Con all the way over to the right-hand side, for those of you who can't see that. And usually I have to take my finger off the Joy-Con and then press it again. But if I press down, he'll walk slow. And then if I press forward, he still walks slow, which is, it's a little weird. I don't know why that happens. Normally when you press an analog stick over tilted far more in another direction, the character should walk faster, but for some reason he gets stuck in that walk. And earlier when I was fighting some of the tougher bosses, because they actually throw some tough bosses at you early on in this game, that was really affecting the gameplay for me, and it was getting me really frustrated. Now, what I found out is, under the options too, you can also go and switch the movement. So instead of the movement being on the analog stick, you can move it down to the directional buttons as well. And that does definitely alleviate that issue with the top analog stick over here. But personally, when I'm playing these types of games, I like to play them with an analog because it just feels more comfortable since you're navigating within a 3D world. So that was one issue that I had with the game. But once I started getting a hold of the basically the system that allows you to strategize your characters, it allows you to place the characters in the background. You can spread them out accordingly. that helped me start. That helped me to start winning more boss fights, because when I was able to spread my characters out rather than being stuck all in one spot, the enemies couldn't just go and like wreck my party. Now they're spread out more. You could use one character to distract an enemy while you go in for the kill, and that really worked out well in my opinion. Being able to put that together and all. One of the reasons why I like that system as well is because they had a similar system like that in the original Secret of Mana on the Super Nintendo. I'm a huge Mana fan, as I've said earlier, and that type of a system, I just find that fun, that you can actually strategize and sit here and go beyond just running in and killing everything, and that's great. But yeah, the only thing that I have negative to really say about it is when you're holding down on the analog stick. My suggestion is, if you guys decide to play using the Joy-Cons at all, if you're going to be using the Joy-Cons and you're using the analogs, what you should basically do is, to be prepared for that movement thing, try not to move around the try not to move around the battlefield as much. If you want to attack, because when you attack, he'll automatically go running in directly if you have the battle system set to semi-automatic mode. So that's my suggestion for getting around that issue. If any of you are having this issue for whatever reason, it's a real odd issue, I know. It's kind of hard to show on camera, even though I tried to show you over here, but yeah, I have no idea why that issue is there. I know it's blaring. It's really a small thing though in comparison to the overall game. In terms of the gameplay, the story, the graphics, the music, everything is really beautiful. I've been enjoying this, and if it wasn't for this one issue, I'd probably rate this game somewhere around 90%. I normally don't give numbers in a review, but just to kind of give you guys a better idea, I probably would rate this about a 90% overall, because of the fun factor and the memorable characters, the great soundtrack, the great gameplay. But because of the control issue, I'd have to bump this down a bit to about an 8.5 or an 85%. So there you have it, folks. That's what I feel about Tales of Vesperia. I've really been having a blast with this, and I'm continuing to play this until I beat it. So I want to thank you all for watching, and you guys have a great day. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you liked what you've seen, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great one. Peace!